Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Blackfire Technical Analysis YouTube channel. I am your host with the absolute most, Crypto Bro, coming back at you once again on this beautiful Tuesday evening / early Wednesday morning with another edition of the daily live stream. Hello, and hello. I hope everyone is happy, safe, relaxed, and profitable, as we have plenty to cover in today's live stream. What do you mean, Brian? I'll tell you what I fucking mean. I tell you what I mean. Higher highs everywhere across the board. Confirmations above the 21 exponential across the board. Trades entered and managed across the board. We definitely have plenty to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. So why don't we just fucking get right into it? Why don't we just get right into it? I'm trying to adjust my microphone here real quick. Boom. How the hell is everybody? I hope everybody had a really great holiday. Real relaxing, fun, hot weekend full of bugs and more bugs than you can imagine. And for me, particularly, the allergies of death being bestowed upon me this weekend. It is what it is, let me tell you. It is what it is. I suffered, and I am currently somewhat still suffering. I actually took 2 allergy medicines today, and it seems to be doing a little bit more of the trick than I'm used to. Any big news, any updates, anything like that? We're 5 months pregnant, still waiting for a little baby Link to come through. Work is still work. That's probably all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen, other than I took a few trades. That's pretty much it. So I guess let's get down to the wire. I tell you what. Where are we at here? Let me find NASDAQ. Let's get right into it. Boom. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are with NASDAQ here, bouncing off of the lower lows that was confirmed on the 23rd here, just before the holiday weekend, and a nice big old boom to see price action back above the 21 exponential and confirming higher highs outside of the perceived range. Now, does that necessarily mean that we are in a full-on bullish uptrending structure just yet? No, that is not the case just yet. We do not have a higher low structure. All we have are the beginning etchings with this higher high. And not only to mention that, I don't know where my trend line keeps going, bro. Where does my diagonal trend line of death and despair keep disappearing off to? We're going to put that there for future reference. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, not to repeat myself, but we are above and confirmed above the 21 exponential here on NASDAQ. And now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. Nothing out of the ordinary. As long as price action remains above that 21 exponential, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be looking for the next perceived target to the upside. The first target after breaching the ranged, the sideways range formation here has already been met. It's a soft first target to the upside at around $12,830. Nice piece of resistance upon meeting that resistance line, and now we see price action as it is. I need some fucking water. So where does price action go from here, ladies and gentlemen? And it's very, very, very quite simply put. If I see a breach above this current resistance, I'm going to be looking for the next perceived target all the way up towards $13,500 even. And realistically, what I'm ultimately looking for here is for price action to test that diagonal trend line of death and destruction all over again, once again. Yes, the perceived target definitely goes all the way up to this resistance here at 14,200. Again, as we remain in this downside bearish structure, I have to remain vigilant in my bearish eyeballs, right? Bearish eyeballs. Again, we have confirmed, already played out in price action history, a very significant higher low or excuse me, higher low, lower low, followed by this absolute capitulation of price action to lower lows. We are in a long-term trending formation to the downside, and nothing, I tell you, nothing changes my mind about that one simple fact. And again, this is not a matter of opinion, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a fucking bear market. That is not an opinion. That is absolute fact, unless you're some kind of not knowing what the fuck you're doing, fucking non-studying loser who thinks he knows everything about the stock market with no experience. Unless you're a dummy, you know that we're in a bear market. The market's been bearish for quite some time, and there is no evidence of that becoming bullish once again. Until I see that evidence. And you know, for me, that evidence would be an uptrending formation, that breaches diagonal trend line of death and destruction, turns it into a new tentative support, and breaks out to higher highs. Then and only then will I be convinced that this is a full-blown reversal style formation to send the stock market back into an amazing bull market. Rather, how I am perceiving it, and again, fucking cat hair everywhere. All of it are just perceived possibilities, right? It's like a game of chess. You don't think of just the next move you're gonna make. You gotta stay a few steps ahead, right? You gotta stay a couple of steps ahead. I like to stay like 10 steps ahead, right? So for this formation here, obviously if we do breach current resistance, which in my opinion is very likely, I will be looking for, again, this region here, and possibly a little bit of a pullback, and then maybe this region here, the diagonal trend line of death and destruction, right? And then from there, I'm actually going to be looking for this bear market to continue to the downside until proven otherwise. Or we could just reject the 21 here and now and continue straight to the downside. All of which are very, very, very good probabilities here, right? So the way I'm looking at this here is Stochastics has it, right? Stochastics has the momentum. Stochastics back into the bullish control zone for the first time in quite some time. Let me go ahead and print that bitch down real quick if I can find the right juice. Boom. Breached the 50 read. Done did that. And the 35 read. So yeah, Stochastics back into the bullish control zone here and looking very, very, very positive with momentum. Doesn't speak any more volumes than that. RSI breaking through that triangle formation here to the upside. Resolution is currently to the upside with the exponential forced to a positive slope once again. Now it does look like we're putting in a little bit of a rejection of the 50 read at the current moment in time. Nothing too out of the ordinary. If price action does continue to breach resistance and go for the next target to the upside, I will be looking for RSI to follow suit here and breach that 50 read, which would coincide with a very critical signal and a potential movement to the upside here. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I am still only looking for the maximum of 14,200. No ifs, ands, or buts until proven otherwise, at which point I will look for a lower high structure anywhere within this region, and I will look for this market to continue in its bearish fashion for quite some time. I do not believe that the lows have been set. To be quite honest with you, I don't think that these are lows. I think this downtrending market is going to be more bearish for a little longer, right? So looking at NASDAQ here, yeah, we could theoretically reject 12,800 now and see a breach back below the 21 exponential, at which point I would be looking for immediately like new lower lows all the way down towards 11,500, maybe 11,450, and even possibly all the way down to 11,000 bucks even. But again, looking at the market structure, it's not out of the question to see a little bit of a relief rally build up here. But again, as I stated in the community chat, trades above the 21 exponential in a bearish formation tend to not last as long as trades below the 21 exponential. And a very perfect example is right here. We got these lower lows based off in the middle of March time. Boom, here's your entry above, oops, that's not even the right tool. Here's your entry above the 21 exponential here. And I mean, there's your exit, right? Not a very, very, very long trade. Maybe a week, 2 weeks tops. Where you got this trade below the 21. Right after that, hiccups immediately. that went for much longer, right? So please remember that. You know, we are in a bearish structure. Nothing about that has changed, but I do sense a little bit of a relief rally coming, and this could be the time to see that happen. Again, I did take a trade, a bunch of trades, which I will cover with you guys tonight, above the 21 exponential, and I'm going to show you my take profit projections, stop loss projections, so on and so forth. The only problem I have right now is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Webull doesn't have risk management for cryptocurrency. Except for my eyeballs. Give me a second. I want to see what they said actually, because I did message them and I'm like, you know, you're gonna let people trade cryptocurrency? Yeah, they're in the works with managing risk management. Like, why would anybody trade crypto on Webull if you can't fucking manage your risk? So you can't manage your risk on Webull. So I'm taking a massive risk by taking a trade on Bitcoin through Webull. All of my other positions are very, very, very tightly managed. There was one entry that I'm very, very pleased with because it was as close to the 21 as possible when I entered, and we got a confirmation closure above to confirm a continuation to the upside. So, you know, with that said, that's NASDAQ. Let's go ahead and move on to SPY futures. Very same thing here. Nice movement, candle closure to confirm above the 21. 21 is being forced into a positive slope. We even have a 20 SMA, 10 SMA cross to potentially confirm a different strategy entry position here. And what do we see from an RSI perspective? We do see RSI still playing around with that 50 read, definitely looking positive. Again, we do have a breakout of the triangle formation from an RSI perspective, with RSI exponential back to a positive slope and RSI looking again to breach that 50 read. I do like it. Stochastics also, boom, actually into the bullish critical territory for the first time since April. Beginning of last month. And that was kind of our relief rally after the first big dump down to the downside, down, right? So again, we're in a bear market, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, you know, again, I could be wrong. It is possible that this is the lows. It is possible. It is very possible. But since we're so fucking far away from actually confirming that, I'm not going to give you, oh, we're going all-time highs to the moon. No, I'm going to be realistic with you guys. And realistically, again, we have no reason, no evidence to suggest that this is full-blown reversal. There is no evidence suggesting that this is the end of the bear market, back into the bull market. Not even close. Not in my opinion. Somebody else may disagree with that, and I think that somebody else needs to fucking get some education. But from my perception here, again, same thing. Breach above the 21, secondary confirmation closure above the 21, even a back test of the 21 here. I am going to be looking for SPY futures to continue to that $4,300 target in the bottom side of the blue box territory, and even all the way up to $4,375. Now, realistically, the overall target's going to be, like, again, 4470, which is right in line with the diagonal trend line of death and destruction here, at which point I'll look for the same thing, right? I'll look for this to come up over time, boom, 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 play around, reject it, right? Until proven otherwise. And the only proof otherwise would be flip it into new tentative resistance and confirm new highs. Only then will I be absolutely convinced that we have a possibility to see this bear market come to an end. Until then, enjoy your $5 a gallon gas. Jesus fucking Christ, I saw gas prices today, about had a fucking aneurysm. And again, same thing for this one, ladies and gentlemen. We could see a breach back below the 21 exponential, at which point I would look for another retest of support below here at 39.10, and I would definitely be looking for lower lows at that point, right around 3,800 or even all the way down to 3,680. Until then, I am going to be looking for a little bit of a relief rally, a continuation drive to the next target. I'm going to be playing it very, 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 very cautiously and taking profits at any possible opportunity, because I do not intend to stay in any of these positions extremely long term. I'm actually going to be trying to set up for a beautiful short entry if and when we do see confirmation of bearish continuation with a rejection of the diagonal trend line of death and destruction, right? So until then, playing it safe, right? Expecting this 21 exponential trade to not last as long, and we'll go from there. Moving on, son of a bitch, wouldn't you know it, we get a relief rally when the motherfucking dollar comes to the downside. And what did I say? Here we are. We actually have in the works a low, which was confirmed. Is it strong, though? It's not the strongest yet. Ooh, Christopher King is in the house. So what is the up, yo? Price. Price action is the up at the current moment in time. Looking at the US dollar index, we did get a reversal style candlestick closure here on the 30th, and boom, opened up on the 2 candles on the 30th. What the fuck? This is the daily time frame. I'm confused. But we have a low call. We have a low call here, and we have a critical warning shot being fired for the US dollar index here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is what makes me think that the market will only be in the midst of a relief rally, right? It is delayed as fuck, I will admit, because we consolidated during this entire meltdown of price action for the US dollar index. For real. But now we hit a stop and reverse back above the red 10 simple. Price action currently is, and we do have a couple critical signals to be aware of here. Number one, we do have a low call here, which would be classified as a higher low in the structure, a macro structural higher low. And oh my God, would you believe it if I told you? No, you absolutely wouldn't. Confirming this as a macro structural higher low widens the structural trend line of the entire formation from an RSI perspective, which is juicy information here. And stochastics crossing back up again. We haven't seen any evidence that this is, confirmed. Well, I mean, it's a low confirmed, but is it going to continue, right? Is the drive going to continue to new highs? Is the US dollar index going to continue to rise and punish the rest of the stock market? Only time will tell. But from the way this one looks, ladies and gentlemen, I would be looking for another retest of current resistance all the way up here at 102.5 here. We do have a new point of support right here, which divvies up some new playing territory here. Stop, reverse, next target, 102.50. Any open and closure above 102.50, I'll definitely be convinced that this is our higher low, and I'll be looking for the next target at about 103.67, and ultimately much higher over time. If we do breach resistance, confirm as new tentative support, and confirm above the 21 exponential once again, I will have no reason not to suggest that this is the structural higher low that we have been looking for since the meltdown began for the US dollar index. And again, I did mention it to you guys. I'm full on bullish. Even now, even with this dip, I am full on bullish long term until proven otherwise. There's no proof. There's no proof suggesting that this one is ready to die. I think this one is actually just going through a bullish reset and fueling up for another colossal launch to higher highs, which again, in turn, is not a good thing for the rest of the market. But I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. And the only thing that would convince me that I'm wrong is if we see an open and closure above the perceived low right at 101.30. Any open and closure below there, I'll look for a full fucking nosedive all the way down to the next support level at 99.30. And possibly even down to the diagonal trend line of peace and prosperity. Somewhere around maybe 97.85 to 98 even could be a potential target for a move down, but again, I'm not convinced. Why am I not convinced? Again, I'll cover it. Look at that. I just opened up the RSI structural support system, right? Boom. It was this. It was just this right here. Right? I did have this little bit uptrend, little bitty uptrending line here, right? And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh, we have a low. Oh, we have more touch points that line up. Oh boy. Trend line generated. As long as RSI holds that trend line, I'm fucking bullish. I'm bullish. I think this is a bullish reset. I really do. Again, my opinion doesn't matter. This is just my bias. This is a little mental masturbation. I could be wrong, but I really think this is just a bullish reset. Nice momentum oscillator cool down. RSI cools down, hits that structural trend line of peace and prosperity. Stochastics does a full reverb reset, crosses back up with fashion in the bearish critical territory. exponential facing north on both accounts. 21 exponential starting to lose its steam to the downside, starting to flatten out a little bit. I'm convinced that this is likely our low, and the lows are possibly set for this structure here. I'm going to be looking for continuation, unless again I'm proven otherwise. I could definitely be proven otherwise, but till then, fucking to the moon, bitches. Fucking to the moon. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and cover a couple of my trades. First off, AMD. I took a trade. I'm a little skeptical on this one now that I look at it. Again, sometimes when you do analysis, you miss things. You know, we're human. Sometimes you miss shit. And I missed this. I missed it. This is a massive bear flag. This formation here is a massive bear flag. Very, very, very obvious bear flag. Nice breakdown into a flag pattern. A upwards channel pattern. We are looking at a bear flag here. And if we have a perceived measurement from the top of the pole to the bottom of the pole and achieve equilibrium at the breakout point, it doesn't look so fucking hot for AMD. It really doesn't. It doesn't. But I am in a trade. I did take a trade above the 21 exponential. We do have 3 moving averages, positive once again. We do have similar momentum oscillator readings, except for stochastics here. Stochastics supporting the 50 read, bouncing back into the bullish control zone. We don't have new highs yet, so there is still a little, room for error, and we don't have higher highs. And most importantly, we have not broken this pattern formation here. What looks to be like a massive, massive, massive bear flag. And I mean, the implications are massive, ladies and gentlemen. For this one, though, I'm going to keep it simple, short, and sweet. We did just confirm new tentative support at the we'll call it $99 region here. I am going to be looking for continuation to the next major level, which is right around, yep, you guessed it, 112.30. Now, if we break out to 112.30, we will have broken the diagonal trend line of resistance. I can't even fucking talk, man. I got dry mouth like a motherfucker. Oh, don't tell me I have problems with the internet. Come on, man. I need music here. Thank you. What was I saying? Yes. Okay. So if this one does decide to break out, right? If it does break the parallel, or not the rising channel formation, not only will we have broken the formation, we'll have breached tentative resistance from a diagonal perspective, which does pose the possibility for a relief rally, but the same sentiment applies. The same sentiment applies, ladies and gentlemen, until we see new higher highs, like significant higher highs at the minimum, the least above 123.50. I'm still convinced of the bearish possibilities here. And most importantly, if we break out, through the bottom side of the formation here, we obviously have a measured movement. Again, measured movements are not exact measurements, but a projection of possibility for future price action movements to the downside. It all depends. It all depends. Does this one continue or not, right? I did take a trade. I can't go against my trading rules. I got confirmation about the 21 exponential. I took the trade. I managed my risk, again, right off the 21 exponential, so my risk is a little, open at the current moment in time. Yeah, 94 spot 90 is my risk point, but really, that's 1% added to another 6%. So my risk is a little open right now, right? And that's the thing with the 21 exponential strategy here, is that on initial entry, your risk is likely to be a little bigger unless you get a clean trade on the 21, like I think with NVIDIA. This is about as clean as it gets right here. Sometimes it does get a little cleaner. So it's like 3.5%, risk right now on NVIDIA. And same thing. We did just confirm new support here at 184 spot 25. I will be looking for continuation towards the next resistance at 202 spot 60 until proven otherwise. And that proof otherwise would be a full-on rejection with a breach back below the 21 exponential, at which point I'm probably going to be shaking out all my trades, which is common. It happens. I'll be shaking out of all of my trades, and I'll be looking for lower lows on this formation. Actually, at 157 spot 60 would be the first target to the downside, followed by 147 spot 90. I would look for massive bearish implications and continuation to the downside if we happen to just go reversal mode back down today. But again, I think that's very unlikely given the current market situation. Again, I do believe it is about time for a relief rally across the board here. So NVIDIA is another one that I entered in. The risk is a little tighter on that. I will be adjusting my risk each and every single day to make it less and less, if that makes any sense. Another one that I wanted to look at here, this one's for my brother, Pepsi, rejected, dick. Lower high confirmed. I'm going to be looking for continuation towards this region once again, 160 spot 80, at which point, if we do see price action move down towards there, we likely have confirmation of a downtrend if we see lower lows below 161.15 exactly. Any closure below 115 will confirm a downtrend. It will confirm a downtrend. I mean, technically we have a downtrend. Technically we do. But this would carry bigger implications for real, because again, we have our all-time high, lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high. So technically we are already in the precipice of a downtrend here, but not nearly as significant as the rest of the market has been experienced. Kudos to Pepsi for banging out moves the way Pepsi's been banging out moves during this crazy market times, right? But it does definitely look like we could be formulating a double top here, a double top formation. I could be wrong, or we could be doing some kind of massive head and shoulders formation. Still very early to tell. I don't know. All I care about is price action with horizontal support and resistance and where we're at right now. I will be looking for continuation to... Why am I doing this? Why do I do this to myself? I always leave the damn drawing tool on. RSI looking at a lower high and a possible rejection of the 50 read back below the exponential, while stochastics here is losing a little steam, but has just confirmed a fresh signal above the 50 read here. I was looking at Pepsi for the longest time and wondering why we got this, this move here without any reaction for quite some time. I was looking at that, and we didn't get a reaction until day 5 of the lows here. So just spitballing, throwing shit out of there. Didn't I take another trade? AMD, NVIDIA, Microsoft. I think, is it Microsoft that I opened a position on? Let me look. Apple. I mean, I could have entered on Microsoft, but I looked at that share cost and I was like, maybe not. Let's look at Apple. Apple was the clean one. Apple was super clean. A very clean risk-managed entry on Apple today. Very weak looking, but I remember what happened last time I didn't take a weak signal. It fucking bit me in the ass. This one might bite me in the ass too, but again, it goes against my trading rules not to take the position. We got a secondary candle closure right here, confirming above the 21 exponential. I entered on the closure during post-market here, and I got very, very, very close to that 21 exponential. So on this move particularly, I am at 1% risk management here, which means I'm not fucking worried about this one at all. Very, very, very clean entry here. But here's the problem. Here's what poses the problem, right? We rejected resistance here. Yes, I will be looking for a breach of resistance here tomorrow above 150 spot 25, but if that doesn't happen, it likely means we go back below the 21 exponential, which in turn means I lose on my position here. And if that condition is confirmed, I will be looking for breaches back below 146 spot 30 and possibly all the way to lower lows, just like the rest of the charts here. But I digress.
RSI confirming a critical signal while confirming above the 21 exponential. Looking like it wants to head on for that 50 read, which would, you know, provide confidence and confirmation for my move, for my position. So Stochastics is looking girthy, nice momentous move to the upside. RSI, not so much, not yet. We do have a little bit of a, you know, a support of the exponential here, and the exponential is in a positive slope here. So again, it does provide structure for a possible move to the upside. And while I'm in these positions, ladies and gentlemen, please, please, please understand, I think I've said it 15 times already, I will not be in these positions very long. As soon as I see profit, I'm taking it. And the moment I get across back below the 21 exponential, I'm out, whether it's in the profit or not. Managing my risk in this scenario is very important because, again, we are in a bearish structure regardless. And until proven otherwise, I'm going to treat everything as if it were a bearish formation, including Apple here. So, you know, with Apple, if we do breach 150, I will look for the next level here at 155, spot 50, and possibly even up towards 164, spot 25, where I will be taking some serious profits. And if we reject back below the 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for lower lows. I'm going to delete this. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, that actually changes up the lower low perspective. Any open and closure below 137, I will be looking for, boom, moves all the way down to 129 spot 40, maybe 50, 129 and a half, something like that, to the downside. You know, is what it is. Bitcoin! What do we got on Bitcoin? Another clean entry. Yes, I did have a couple sloppy entries, but I also had a couple of clean entries. This is a break of the range formation. We were talking about the possibility of seeing some kind of move to the upside in the next 7 to 10 days. It looks like that move to the upside might be occurring here. We do have a breach of the 21 exponential with a secondary open and closure to confirm I have entered. Now, I'm going to be looking for the next major level, right around 35,000 bucks even, at which point I will be taking some profits off the table. I don't play around with profits, man. If I see profits, I'm taking the money. Even if I get out of the position too soon, as long as I get some of that money, man, I'm pulling it. I'm pulling it out. Now with this one, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The only thing that convinces me that we don't see continuation would be an open and closure back below the 21 exponential, at which point I'd look for lower lows. I'd look for 28,005 to be tested once again, but I'd look for a full fucking swing all the way down to 24,500, 24,300, something like that. But momentum oscillators are shaping up nicely here. Stochastics breaching the 50 read here to confirm the 21 closure, aiming towards the bullish control zone, which I don't know why there's not fucking marked. Yeah, there we go. And then Stochastics here riding a positively sloped exponential. Again, that choppy finally breaks to the upside. We do have higher highs, but again, they're not that convincing, right? Again, none of this is indicative of fucking market reversal. This is me just saying I think this is a relief rally. Again, my opinion is invalid. I think it's a relief rally. I think I could take a couple of quick trades for maybe 2 to 5 days on this possible relief rally, unless I eat my words tomorrow morning with a bunch of losses, and then go from there, and then see if we hit resistance at a major point, reject it, and continue the bear market. That's kind of what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen. That's the sentiment of the day. So trade at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I will never tell you what to do with your own trades or positions. This is just my speculative opinion and trade strategy ideas on the stock market and cryptocurrency market. If you trade the way I trade and you lose, it is most certainly your own fault. And that might do it for the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have anything else to touch up on. It's basically the same across the board. I'm looking for a relief rally until proven otherwise. We are above the 21 on a lot of counts, and I'm going to be trading as such above the 21 exponential. I will share all of my profits with the Blackfire technical analysis community as soon as I secure those profits.
And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back again with another update tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Y'all be